breaks free from of my grasp and starts swimming away, yelling, "Help! He's drowning!" I'm struggling, watching her swim away from me. I realize I'm going to die here. I slip under the waves, still struggling. No matter how hard I try, I can't get my head above water. The ocean pulls me down deeper and deeper. But then I feel a hand grab mine. 5 long, soft fingers. They feel boneless, but they grip me tight. Then I feel myself shooting forward until my hands and knees hit the sand. I lift my head above water. I'm on the shore. Coughing and gasping for breath, I crawl away from the waves. I don't stop until I'm on dry sand. Then I collapse. I hear voices to my right, screaming and shouting my name. Friend comes up with tears in his eyes and asks if I'm okay. I tell him I thought I was dead. He said they all watched as I slipped, then 10 seconds later I was crawling onto dry land 50 feet up the beach. I don't know exactly how far out I was. But they said the way I just appeared on the shore so quickly after sinking underwater was surreal. This one's about my native friend's grandpa. He told it to my friend who told it to me. It's been a long time since he shared it with me, but I still think about it sometimes. It's not really slooky, just interesting. I'm sharing it with his permission. I'll call friend's dad Darwin. Darwin grows up in a fairly traditional Indian family. But one day his dad disappears. No one ever discusses it. Mom won't talk about it. Shortly after that, Darwin and his brother are taken from their mom and put in a boarding school. It has an English-only policy and it is cruelly enforced. They smack the shit out of you if they hear you using Indian words or phrases. Darwin barely knows any English. Needless to say, he gets corrected frequently. But Darwin is stubborn. He refuses to learn English. The beatings get worse. But he's too concerned about his brother to care about that. While Darwin isn't much to look at, his little brother is a really cute kid. One old teacher is always pulling him aside late in the evening. His brother comes back from these encounters crying quietly. Won't talk about it, what happened. Darwin is scared for the first time. Then he has a dream. An old man appears to him in the dream. Darwin intuitively understands the old man to be an ancestor. He says to Darwin, "You have to run away and join the white man's society or you're doomed. Become a white man, but don't forget your heritage." Darwin changes overnight. Starts learning English. Picks it up quickly. When he knows enough to get by, he takes his brother and runs away. But Darwin doesn't know where to go. He's supposed to join white society but doesn't know how. He and his brother end up wandering around hungry through the forest. Then the old man from his dream walks up to him. It's as if he appeared out of nowhere. He tells Darwin to go to a nearby farm and ask for work. Darwin's shocked at seeing the old in the flesh, but he does as he's told. Finds the farm, asks for a job. The farmer hires him. No pay, just room and board. The old farmer had sons once, but they all died. Eventually he grows fond of the 2 young Indian boys, 14 and 11 at the time. Raises them as his own. When Darwin turns 17, America enters World War II. The Haudenosaunee actually made a specific agreement with the United States never to fight in their wars. This was pre-Revolutionary War. But Darwin signs up anyway. This is our homeland. We've got to protect it. Plus he can further join American life like the old man told him to. During the war the old man shows up periodically warning him of danger. His platoon thinks he's fucking psychic. Darwin laughs, thinking he basically confirmed the spooky Indian stereotype. Comes out of the war not just unscathed, but a war hero to boot. The same cannot be said of many of his friends. Darwin lost most of them. He vows never to fight in another war again. But then there's Kay. Darwin meets her when he visits the res for the first time since he was a kid. The two fall in love. Kay gets pregnant. Darwin needs a job. He winds up working for the military again in various capacities. KBTW is kind of a big deal back home. People say she's going to become an important elder. She seems to understand that an ancestor is watching over Darwin. She can seemingly see the old man even when Darwin can't. She says the ancestor needed Darwin to learn about white people because his son is going to work to build bridges between Indians and white people. This shocks Darwin. Their baby hasn't even born yet. Sure enough, it's a boy, my friend. Darwin raises him to speak his own Indian language. Teaches him Indian customs. But also explains everything he knows about how white people think. Tells him his life is going to be hard. That he will always feel torn and without a home. Tells him this is suffering is exactly what will allow him to build bridges, and that he needs to play a small part in helping bring about reconciliations between people. That's pretty much it. My friend's grandpa died not long ago. He was a healthy, strong old man. But he told everyone that the ancestors showed up in a dream. It had been a long time since he had appeared. All he said to Darwin was, "It's time to go. Your job is done." 3 days later, my friend's grandpa died in his sleep. Hi X. Today, I, for the first time, want to share with you my story with all of you, even though it told me not to speak nor write down its text at all, but bear with me. I will probably also write something in detail outside the green text limitations. Be 16 years old. Normal kid. Didn't have many friends, just the usual 2 to 3 close ones. Grow up in the country. Hunting is one of the main entertaining things to do here. My father teaches me how to hunt birds, deer, moose, you name it. I always looked up to my father. Out hunting for forest birds, don't know the English name. One day, it's summer, the sun is shining, and it's hot outside. We walked through the forest, not much luck with the birds, but I loved spending time with my dad, so I didn't really care. Arrive at a small lake, decide to take a break, eat some food and drink some water. My father spots a old beer bottle kinda hidden in the grass. There is no signs of human activity in this forest, so it kinda was a little strange. Dad says jokingly, "One day anon, when I'm gone, and dug down in the dirt, I want you to find this place, open a beer, and drink it while thinking of the day we went hunting together." Dad puts the bottle in down the grass, under the tree he found it again. We get up and leave. This beer bottle will become significant later, so just bear with me. Okay, so fast forward 2 years. My dad unfortunately died. Natural causes, heart attack. B18. Visit my parents' home where I grew up. I moved to the town across the fjord to go to school. It's winter time by now. Happy to see my mom doing well even though my dad recently passed away. I'll decide to spend the weekend. When I wake up the next day, Saturday, I suddenly remembered the old beer bottle my dad and I found while hunting back in the day. The days are short. The landscape looks a lot different when the snow covers up the trees and ground in the winter, and I had not been into these forests for a while. Decided to go anyway. I grabbed my dad's old hunting equipment, including my old rifle. After driving for maybe 30 minutes on my dad's snow scooter, I reached the thick part of the forest. Too thick, have to walk the rest. Figure it would not take long to reach the lake me and my dad sat down by 2 years ago. As I walked off the completely white landscape with snow to my waist, minutes turned to hours. Wind was picking up, and it started snowing. Fuck, I decided to turn around and get back before shit hits the fan. To late.jpg. By now it's a full-on blizzard. The trees around me support me some cover, but the thick snow coming down from the sky makes my vision really bad. I get lost. It's getting clearer. I decided to build me some kind of shelter under a tree, remove some snow, build it into a wall to decrease the wind flowing trough my shelter. The wall goes around the trunk of the tree, leaving me some space. I break off some branches and put them on the ground, just to isolate, prevent loss of body heat. Now laying on the ground with little to nothing to cover myself with. I figured this trip wouldn't take long, and didn't really take any survival gear with me. I know, I'm fucking stupid. LT gets darker, and the blizzard eventually calms down. Now only big fluffy snowflakes slowly surf down from above. The sight is kind of comfy, even though I'm sure I'll die if I don't engage some sort of activity to prevent even further loss of body temperature. Start doing push-ups, sit-ups, some squats, but it doesn't really help. Can't stay here anymore, need to get back or I'm a goner. My tracks are gone, as if no one ever walked out here. Fuck, choose the general direction of where I thought I came from. Starts walking. In what seemed for whatever bathed in snow up to my waist, just the same as before. It had gotten a lot colder, and now only the light from the moon guided my way. Crack, wait, what? It sounded like a fucking avalanche, and then I realized, I'm on top of frozen water. As fast as I could I threw myself down and spread my limbs, as to spread out my body weight. Too late. Crack, I fell off the ice. The cold water gave my body a shock.